And we're live. We're live. Hello, everybody. It's Jennifer Jones here from Tracking Down the Family, and we're here for our live Speakers Corner preview. Welcome. I've two great guests here with me today, who I'll introduce in a moment. But just welcome to everyone, and thank you very much for coming along today to our hi, Kyla. Great to have you. To our very first Speakers Corner live preview for 2026, and also our very first Projectkin event for 2026. Happy New Year to everybody. I do hope you had a lovely holiday season, and were able to spend time with your families and telling the stories and hearing the stories, and having a restful time, which is what I did. So I had a lovely New Year. It was very quiet, as we're having a heat wave lately. This week, for example, we're going, oh, hi, Linda. Hi, Linda. Great to see you. And there's Barbara. Hello, Barbara, taking her notes for us. Yes, about our weather. Just for example, and Kathy, hi, Kathy. We're having 45 degrees weather this week, each day, which is Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So that's around about 113 Fahrenheit. So yes, it's hot, hot, hot here. So good weather for reading and writing our stories. Jane, hi Jane, New Zealand's here. Happy New Year also to you, Kathy. So to introduce my guests, today I have two great family story writers here with me. We have Marian Beaman from Marian's News and Xanthe Hall from X Factor Family Stories. Marian is a retired English professor who now in retirement is writing her family stories. Just while I introduce Marian, I should say you will only be seeing Marian's photo. We've had a bit of a technical issue here just as we're about to start. So you will see Marian in the flesh later in the week at Speakers Corner. So we have Marian.
You can see me, but I'm just my smile is frozen.
The smile is there, Marian.
Face and Xanthe's as well.
Yeah. So we have Marian, and we also have Xanthe to tell us, give us a preview of her story. Xanthe was born in Scotland, raised in England, and now lives in Berlin. So I'm sure there's a story in there too, in that. So just to our theme, as most of you know, we have a theme each month, and our speakers come along and jump on our virtual box and tell us a story to a theme. They choose their own topic, and the topics are always different. I'm always amazed at how different how so many different topics can suit a theme. So our theme for January is the secrets kept locked away in our families. So I'll just hand right over to our speakers, who will give you a preview of their story they will be telling later in the week. So as always, we go in alphabetical order. So over to you, Marian.
Yes. Thank you so much. I enjoy talking to other writers, and now I'm connecting two other continents.
Hi, Jill.
Australia and Europe. My story began in Europe, Switzerland, and then in Germany. And here's my chance to let you know Mennonites are we're cult. And my story begins in Switzerland in the 1500s. So they were persecuted. In fact, Menno Simons, the founder, was a former Catholic priest. And the reason the Mennonites formed is because they were against infant baptism, and also they were non-resistant to war. In other words, were anti-violent. They would be called something like pacifists today. So my folks migrated from Switzerland, then to Germany, and then to Dutch Mennonites paid their passage to the United States. So my family begins in the United States. It wasn't called that then, the colonies, in 1733. Becker family. That's my maiden name. And so we have 9 generations from Europe living here in the United States from 1733 to 26 now. Did you want to ask me about my family story?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We'd love to hear a
yeah.
little bit about your
Okay.
story, Mary.
Well, I was raised in a Mennonite, and at that time, in the 1950s, Mennonites were very plain. No jewelry, no makeup, hair never cut, and I wanted to be fancy. So I kept bucking the system I was raised in, and also my father. And my father seemed to be very angry at me. I had no idea why. And I wrote my memoir many, many decades later to try to discover the source of my father's anger. Why was he so mad? And why did he project this anger, especially onto me? I'm the oldest daughter. I was mouthy, but I was a child. Uh, so I wrote my memoir to try to discover this. And then one day, after my mother died, my sisters and I went up to the attic of my mother's and father's house. And my sister found a sociology notebook in which she interviewed my grandmother. And from that interview, written on the page of her sociology notebook, I found a clue as to why my father was so angry. And I don't think I'll say any more about that until Thursday when we
Yeah,
have, uh,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
can see me throw up my hands and aspirated.
yeah. Oh, that's so interesting, Marion. That must have just been such a relief for you to find that information.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was, still an assumption that I made.
yeah,
All,
yeah,
it all made sense when what my grandmother said about my aunt and my father, her 2 children.
yeah, right. Yeah,
That, uh, when she said what she said,
yeah,
I
yeah,
ah,
yeah. Well,
maybe why my father, uh, transferred anger onto me, his older.
yes, yes. As Barbara has just said, wow, we have a cliffhanger, and we do love a cliffhanger. So
Oh,
that's really that's really great, Mary. Also, I really know nothing about the Mennonites, so it's interesting to hear you sort of talk about them, and from your writing, it's been interesting to sort of find out about them. Just one question about the Mennonites: did they settle in sort of a particular area in America?
yes, in Pennsylvania, but then they spread out to Ohio, Indiana, Kansas. There are a few out west, but
Yeah,
the reason they came was to avoid persecution because they were going to be able to practice their religion in
yeah,
in and religious freedom
yeah,
in the world, but
yeah,
also excellent farmers. And William Penn invited them to Pennsylvania specifically so they could cultivate the land, and they would have an agricultural, um, they would be developed as
yes,
farmers. And way back in the 700s, which sounds very young to anybody from Europe, um, the land was just wooded. And
yeah,
in fact, Pennsylvania was called Woods.
Oh, right. Actually, Jill Swenson has just said, hello, Jill, said there are many Mennonites in the Midwest too, and
Yeah,
they were also
it's
farmers.
one place, but Jill would know of it.
Yes,
Jill?
yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh, that's
correspond with all the people on the chat. I
yeah,
recognize your name.
yeah. Oh, that's so interesting, Marian. Um, it's going to be really great to hear a little bit more about that, and especially about that cliffhanger that's there waiting for us.
Yes.
um, so I'll just hand over to you, Xanthe. Go ahead and tell us about your story coming up.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Thanks for inviting me. Can you hear me okay? Is
Yes,
everything fine?
yes, all good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm having a bit of trouble at this end understanding what both you and Marian are saying, so I'm hoping that you'll understand me okay.
Yeah, yes, we can. Yes, yeah,
Good. So maybe a bit about myself to start with. As you
yes,
said, that I was born in Scotland and I moved to Berlin.
yes.
And I moved to Berlin 40 years ago this year. So that's, if you notice a slight German intonation when I speak, that's why. It's
Yep.
kind of like
Yep.
if you speak German every day, then at some point or another, your accent changes a bit.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and I just retired this year, we're in a new year. So actually last year, in February. And I didn't have a lot of time on my hands before I retired because I was running an NGO, disarmament NGO, which is I could talk more about it another time, but I think that would take up too much time to talk about now. And I've been working on family history, doing my family tree for like 20 years before that, but I never had the time to write. And so when I first got onto Substack in February of last year, I started reading all these stories and I thought, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to write the stories
Yes.
of my family as well. So I started doing that, and then kicked off with the Ancestral Women Challenge in March.
Yep.
And I decided, and I wanted to write something about my aunt, Dinah. And I didn't know her. I never met her. And I didn't know anything about her at all. But I thought, okay, I can just use all my, research and find out who she was. So the only thing I could remember was that my father had said something about her living in Germany, but I wasn't really sure if that was true. I mean, I just vaguely remembered it. I don't know if my memory was correct. And also, when we're talking about secrets, my father was a very secretive person, and he didn't tell me anything about his family at all, including his sister. But luckily, I got in touch with his brother, Chris, who was a great genealogist. And he was the one who really helped me get going with all of this. So I started researching my Aunt Dinah. And then I found she'd married a man called Samuel Leonard Thomas Ashworth. And this man she'd not just married him once, she married him twice, which made me ask, what is going on here? Why did she need to marry him twice? Was it maybe because once was registry office and once was church? Or was she looking for a blessing? But it wasn't. They were both registry office. And it took a long time after I'd written most of the story before I got the marriage certificate that actually said they had been divorced in between. So they married in 1966 and they divorced in 1978 and they remarried in 1981. So, and then they stayed together for the rest of their lives. And it made me start to wonder about this, why did she, who divorced who and what happened here? And it was then that I discovered digging a bit deeper, that Samuel, who actually we always called Len, as short for Leonard, had been married before. And he hadn't just been married once before, he had been married 3 times before. And because I don't want to give anything much away, I don't want to tell you what happened to all the wives, but something did. So each of the wives, there are stories behind each of these 3 wives before Dinah, which are really very, very interesting.
So we have another cliffhanger.
And I think I might leave it there.
Yeah,
Another cliffhanger.
Yeah, hello, Kristen. Good to have you here, Kristen. I'm sure there's many stories in that, Xanthe. Looks like
Sorry,
we've just
I missed
lost.
the last.
We're having a few technical issues, and we just lost
you repeat
Xanthe for a moment. Can we hear you, Xanthe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still here.
yeah,
Okay.
yep. You're back now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, as Barbara has just said, when you mention all the wives, we know something dangerous is coming. Something serious. Yeah. So,
Eight, right?
sorry, Mac. Yeah.
Yeah, King Henry VIII and his wives, maybe not comparable, but it reminds me of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. So yes, there's definitely a connection on many levels with this theme with both your stories, actually. So now that we hear that. So and Kyla's saying how fascinating it is, and it is. It's absolutely fascinating. Keep in mind that our packets are flying from Berlin, Germany to Bendigo, Australia. Yes, so
Yes.
we are having delays and issues that we don't usually have. So usually I'm amazed that, as Barbara says, Bendigo to the USA or somewhere on the other side of the world, usually we have no issues at all. But today we're just having a couple of little issues. So, but we did hear you, Marian, so Xanthe. So, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to hearing your story later in the week. It just sounds so interesting. So can I ask, did you move to Berlin for work, or was it a family decision? Or?
No, I wanted to live somewhere else in the world other than in the UK. And at that time I was only 25, and I wanted to visit West Berlin because someone had told me how wonderful it was, because the wall was still up at that time. And I came to Berlin and I just thought, this is just the most amazing place I ever been. And then I stayed. And so I didn't know the language, and I didn't have any money or anything. I just stayed, and it was a really wonderful place to live, and it still is.
Yeah. So I had a life change like 20 years ago and moved away to a new place, but my new place was 2 hours from home, so not international like yours. So yeah. So no, we're really looking forward to hearing both of your stories later in the week. We Speakers Corner, I'm sure everyone knows, will be coming to you on Thursday or Friday, depending on where you are in the world. We always say that. So check the notes and the event notes for your time zone. But it will be here later in the week, and Barbara will actually put links in the notes below for you to check. Is the easiest way. And I should say, Speakers Corner is a free event, but you do need a Zoom link. So you will need to register to get that link. And once again, the link will be in the notes for you to register. Another reminder, our schedule for Speakers Corner in 2026 is full. Even though we are completely booked out for the year, we're taking submissions for 2027. And also we have a growing list of names for people who would like to fill in if we have an unforeseen vacancy during the year. So once again, Barbara will put a link to the speakers queue in the notes for you. So just pop your details in there or contact Barbara or I. And if you do put your name down to fill a vacancy, and that there doesn't happen to be a vacancy, of course, we'll put you forward to next year into Speakers Corner, so you won't miss out. As I said, this is the first Projectkin event for 2026, and there are many more to come. This week alone, we have 5 events, including Speakers Corner. Coming up on Tuesday or Wednesday is the Mission Genealogy Gathering, or it's becoming known as the Clubhouse. As usual, there'll be two events for Mission Genealogy at different times, so you can choose the event that suits your time zone best, or you can come to both. We'd love to have you at both. Also coming up Friday or Saturday is Emma Cox. She will have her live preview for her Emma Explores event next week. So we're probably going to cut it a little bit short today because of the issues we're having. For me, it's just started cutting in and out a little bit too. So I hope to see you at some or all of the events this week. Just a reminder, come along and hear today's full stories in full at Speakers Corner on Thursday or Friday. Once again, depending on your time zone, check the link below. And don't forget to register for your Zoom link. We would love to have you there. Today we've just had a short snippet of 2 stories that I know are going to be so engrossing to hear in full. So do come along and join in the fun. So we'd love to see you there. And thank you to everyone for coming along. It's been great to kick off this year with the very first Speakers Corner preview live. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Jennifer, may